Good morning, children. I'm your English teacher, Ma'am Asha Singh, and this is the prescribed book for class 8 for English literature. Today, I'm going to teach you chapter number 1. So let's begin. Chapter 1 is The House at the Back, and this chapter is about the mystery of a house. Indu, Papa and I are going to the market for some provisions. Both of you unpack your stuff, called out Mrs. Sharma to her two girls, Indu and Vandana. The Sharma family had come to Nainital for a month's stay. Mr. Robert, an old friend of Mr. Sharma, had given them the use of his ancestral home. Come, Vandu, help me sort out the clothes, called Indu, pulling open a large suitcase. Can't you wait? I still haven't finished exploring the house, said Vandana, flopping down reluctantly beside her sister. Unpacking can surely wait till tomorrow. Indu ignored her question. She was the elder of the two at 14. Vandana was 12. Hey, I forgot to tell you, there is an abandoned house with vines growing all over it behind ours. Wouldn't it be lovely if some adventure comes our way? Vandana said dreamily, an avid reader of Enid Blyton mysteries. She was always on the lookout for adventures. Indu, the sensible one, did not reply as she hung their clothes in the old-fashioned wardrobe. Suddenly the power went out. The girls looked out of the window and saw that the entire town was plunged into darkness. So let's children first see words meaning of this paragraph. The first word you should know is provisions, which means supplies of food. Second is sort out, which means separate something from a mixed group. Third is flopping down, which means sit down heavily. Fourth is reluctantly, unwillingly. Avid, enthusiastic. On the lookout, keeping watch. Now I'll give a short summary of the passage that I read. Mr. Sharma and his family went to Nainital to stay there for a month. Mr. Roberts, one of Mr. Sharma's friends, offered them his ancestral house to make use of it during their stay in Nainital. Sharmas had two daughters. The elder one was Indu, who was 14 years old. The younger one was Vandana, who was 12 years old. Indu was sensible and responsible girl, whereas Vandana was imaginative and dreamy. While their parents were out for shopping, Indu obeyed her mother's instructions. She unpacked her things and arranged them in the wardrobe, while Vandana was interested in exploring the house. Vandana noticed that there was a deserted house at the back of the house. Since she believed in mysteries, she wished that some adventure should come their way. While the girls were talking like this, the electricity went out. Now children, we shall take up the paragraph from here. Do you know where the candles would be? Asked Vandana to. Here, that's a good idea, her sister replied. So here I begin. Do you know where the candles would be? Asked Vandana. Of course not. We have just arrived here, remember. Snapped Indu. Come, let's look in the kitchen. The large colonial house was eerily silent as the two girls groped their way to the kitchen at the back. Vandana knocked over a box in the passage and both the girls jumped. It sure is spooky in here, said Vandana. Shut up and search, ordered Indu. Soon her sister would be seeing apparitions. Actually, Indu herself was feeling a little nervous. Listen, someone is singing, exclaimed Vandana, and for once she was not imagining things. A lamp flickered at one of the windows in the house at the back. There is someone living in that house, Indu exclaimed. Perhaps we could go over to the house and borrow some candles, she mused. That's a good idea, her sister replied. Now children, first we shall see the word's meaning. Here it is, first is on the lookout, that is keeping watch. Snapped, it means say something quickly and irritably. Colonial house means house that was built during British period. Groped, feel about with your hand, while in the dark, children, when one is unable to see the way, with the touch of the hand, one tries to find out one's way. Spooky is ghostly. Mused, which means said to herself in a thoughtful way. Now let me explain this paragraph. It was pitch dark everywhere. Both the girls made their way to the kitchen to get some candles. Suddenly Vandana heard someone singing and also saw a light flickering at one of the windows in the house at the back. So the girls decided to go to that house and borrow some candles. Children, let's do our question answers related to section 1. Our first question is reference to the context. This is listen, someone is singing. First question is, where did the sound of singing come from? The sound of singing came from the house at the back. Second question is, where were the girls when they heard the singing? The girls were in the passage to the kitchen when they heard the singing. Question number 3. What did the girls do when they heard the singing? They decided to go over to the house at the back to borrow candles. And now, children, we shall see exercise C here. Because question number here in reference to the context, question number 2 and 3, they belong to section 2 and section 3. So here, section number 1. First is, what did Mrs. Sharma ask the two girls to do while she and Mr. Sharma were out? Did the girls follow her instructions? Mrs. Sharma asked the two girls to unpack their stuff while they went to the market. Indu did try to finish this task, but Vandana wanted to wait. Question number 2 is, why was Vandana reluctant to help Indu unpack? Reluctant means, children, unwilling. The answer is, Vandana was reluctant to help Indu because she wanted to finish exploring the house instead of unpacking. Third is, why did the girls decide to go over to the house at the back? The girls thought that there might be someone living there when they heard the singing and decided to go over there to borrow. Assignment, children, your first is write down words, meanings and question answer regarding section 1 in your notebook. Second is read section 1 and learn meanings and question answer. That's all. Thank you very much, children.